Yo, I'll give you a little. Can't hear you, bro.
Good morning.
There you go. So here's what we got over here in the house.
Oh, we got the whole crew.
We got the crew, and then we're gonna have a bunch of people online.
I'm going to demonstrate and model this one. So Scott, good for you, but also good for me. But get a photo of that whole room up here while I'm presenting and stuff. That'd be awesome.
Okay, we'll get that.
I'm just admitting everyone right now, letting them all in. How y'all doing?
Good. Good.
Good. I love to hear it. Let me pull up this slide deck. Cool. You guys can see that?
Yes, sir.
Make sure everyone gets in here. All right.
You hit
So
you hit record. You hit record.
yeah, it says it's recording. So hopefully it'll save this thing because I'm about to give y'all some gold. Got it. Okay, so let's get started here. First thing I want to say is today is about giving you your marketing playbook to get more listings without buying more leads. Okay, this is me packaging what you need to hear as what you want to hear. Okay, how many of you would like to get more listings?
We got a bunch of hand raisers here.
Okay, so that's what you want, right? You want more listings without buying more leads. Well, let me give you what you need in order to get what you want. I'm in a mastermind that's $25,000 for the year with Dean Graciosi and Tony Robbins at their mastermind headquarters. And one of his biggest takeaways for me is yes, show up for what you want, but always be open to what you need. And so that's what I want to share with you right here, right before we get started. Continue to share. All right. First, I just want to say thank you for everyone for being here today with us. I know your time is valuable and so is mine. So I'm going to do my best not to waste my time or yours. Scott and I, we got a promise to you. Our promise is I'm going to do the best of my ability to deliver 13 years of my life experience in 1 hour. It's kind of a big ask. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but if by the slim chance I do pull it off, I want you to consider a request that we have from you and an opportunity we have for you at the end of this presentation. My request on the front end is that a lot of you could be dialing leads right now. You could be showing clients right now. You could be doing open house. You could be on a listing appointment right now. You could be with your family right now and not working today. And you chose to be here with me. And so that means that I'm requesting that you honor the commitment you made and you actually pay attention, number one. Show up for what you want, but be open-minded to what you need, number two, and then at least execute on just one thing. So now we're not wasting my time on speaking. We're not wasting Scott's money he paid for me to be here. And also your time is extremely valuable. We're not wasting your time away from working clients. We're not wasting your time away from your family and the people you love because you're going to actually take something I share with you today and take action on it. Is that a fair request?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Now, at the end, we will give you an awesome opportunity. And again, I'm going to do my best to deliver marketing for you that I've taken 13 years to learn within 1 hour. I don't know if I can pull that off. And if I do, I want you to consider this opportunity at the end. And I want you to understand why it benefits you, it benefits Scott, it benefits other agents as well. So I'm going to get started now. I had to ask myself if I could only teach you 4 things to guarantee that you get results, what would they be? Number 1 is the mindset of a marketer. Number 2 is building the right audience. Number 3 is sharing the right message in media. And number 4 is committing to the ideal customer journey. I have an unpopular opinion. I believe that God is first and marketing is second. And usually people, when I speak on stage, they clap when I say that, like they're excited. That's a popular opinion. And the God first part is popular, but the unpopular part is that marketing is second. A lot of you guys will hire a VA, you'll get AI, you'll get an executive assistant, you'll do anything and pay anyone to have everyone else do your marketing except for you. So that's the unpopular part is I want you to move marketing to the top of your priority list and understand how impactful it is in your life and business. God is keeping my sister alive. She was born with tetralogy of Fallot. She's had 31 heart surgeries. She's been fighting for her life. Wasn't supposed to live to be 10. She's had 5, maybe 6 heart surgeries in the last 12 months. God got 3 generations of Cheplaks together. My father, my son, and I. My 9-year-old son is a sober dad. I didn't have that at 9 years old. God brought my wife into our lives, and if you know her, you love her. She's like the best. You know, she's way out my league. She's an awesome stepmom, awesome wife, awesome business partner. Marketing paid the medical bills. I don't know if you know, but a lot of insurances won't cover multi-million-dollar heart surgeries. Marketing bought family farms. So we have a 375-acre ranch, and I think it's like a 16-acre ranch. And we bring our whole family together and bring agents and leaders together from all over the country, paid for by marketing. Marketing paid for my son's school, and if you don't know, they charge $25,000 for the year for 4th grade. Can you fucking believe that shit? Why is the right mindset important? Right mindset matters because you are your greatest problem and solution, not the market. We are in a mindset market. We're in an action economy. It's you. It's up to you at the end of the day. When you chose leadership, which is what you're doing, you're leading people through the biggest financial commitment they'll make in their entire life. In times of uncertainty in the market, you're a lighthouse for others. And if you're not clear on who you are, you're going to let other people decide for you. False beliefs have real consequences that keep you stuck in life, and especially in marketing. I don't know what to post, email, and say. I don't have a big audience. I'm not good with social media. I need a funnel, but I don't understand tech. I tried everything and nothing works. And what if people judge me? When you sit down with a client and they ask you a question, would you say, I don't know what to say? No, you'd answer the question. And so what makes that different talking one-to-one than when you're talking one-to-many? Or saying, I don't have a big audience. You don't need a big audience, you need the right audience. And saying that, what if people judge me? People will. You're going to get judged. You'll live. There's going to be people who don't like you, and you'll be okay. You have a moral and ethical obligation to market. I'm in a hot seat, and I want someone to speak up, preferably someone in the office right now. Who's one client that you helped overcome great suffering? They had a death in the family. They're going through a divorce. Maybe someone died. There was something messy, and you had to help them through their home buying or home selling process. Someone in the office, yell out a name. Who's someone who's in great suffering, a client that you helped?
Well, throw out a name. Anybody.
Pamela.
Yep. Okay, somebody at home just
What was
yelled
the
Pam.
name?
Pamela. Her
Pamela.
husband just passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, so this is real. This is raw right now, right?
This is raw right now. Yes.
Pamela's in great suffering. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Yes. She wants to sell. It's too big for her. Her family doesn't want to sell. So I told her to take a little bit of time for herself and think about what you want to do. I said, you're the one that has to make this decision right now.
Okay. Now, what's her life going to look like without you? You said families beef. There's people are in disagreement. They're stressed about the mourning of her husband.
Her and I have a great relationship right now. You know, she's a little older than I am, but she's a good person. She's got a good heart, and we click. So I'd like to be able to be there for her down the road if possible, in any means possible.
Okay. And so if you're able to help her through this process, what kind of relief do you think you can give Pamela?
Huge amount of relief, financially, emotionally.
Yeah. I mean, I've had stories where people told me that someone was going to be homeless if they weren't able to move this thing along the line. The deal wasn't going to close. They already moved out of their last house. They were trying to get into a new place, and no one else could get the deal closed, and the agent helped. And so I want you to understand, when you're doing your job as a realtor, you have a moral and ethical obligation to market, because if you don't share your message, if Pamela doesn't hear Dino's message, if Pamela doesn't get Dino's help, Pamela's life is objectively worse off because of it. So the longer you go without sharing your message that could help Pamela get out of suffering, you are allowing Pamela to suffer longer than she needs to. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And so this is why you have a moral and ethical obligation to share your message. There is someone else like Pamela right now in your CRM, in your contacts, in your phone, in your social media audience who is drowning, and they need relief, and you have the message and the ability to give them relief. And this is why you have a moral and ethical obligation to share your message. It's way deeper than just some posts on social and sending some emails. Here's the mindset of a marketer. I'm willing to risk relationships and my income to tell you the truth. I'm willing to look stupid now to look smart in the end. Great leaders are a lighthouse through the storm. Through all these difficulties with my sister's heart surgery, I've showed up every single day and shared a message to impact, inspire, and educate my audience. Okay. I'm going to give certainty to the uncertain. Right now, Pamela is a bit uncertain. Dino's job is to give her certainty. And perceived value is greater than real value for the sale. You ever looked around your marketplace and you're like, how the hell is that person killing it? They're just not that good. That's because they built their perceived value. And I always tell the story, I learned this from Jason Fladlien, of the mosquito versus the great white shark. Jason Fladlien's done like $500 million of sales on webinars. He's a legend in the space. And I asked people, if you were 5 feet away from a mosquito and 5 feet away from a great white shark, which one would you be more scared of? And the whole room yells out when I'm on stage, the great white shark. And I say, that's interesting because great white sharks are responsible for less than 10 human deaths per year, and mosquitoes kill more humans than any other creature on Earth. The difference is mosquitoes don't have coffee mugs, they don't have Shark Week, they don't have Discovery Channel, they don't have TV series, they don't have Jaws. And so it's the great marketing that increases the perceived threat of the great white shark versus the real threat of the mosquito. And this is what's happening when you're getting smoked by another agent who's not as good as you, is that their perceived value is greater than yours. And we can change that through marketing. And great fulfillment increases perceived value for the next sale. You do a really good job, you keep showing up, people will send you referrals and continue to do business with you. Now, why is the right audience important? Here you can see on the left in 2016, I was working 3 jobs. At that job, I was getting $20 an hour. I had a pregnant fiance at home. I had a baby on the way. We ended up splitting up. We're great co-parenting now. It's not a war story, but I quit all 3 of my jobs. I'm like, this isn't the life I want. I lost the food stamps. She took the food stamps. I lost 50 pounds because I couldn't afford food. I was sharing boxes of cereal with my dog in 2016. Then you can see 2024 there. I'm still teaching fitness. I'm not in a classroom where they pay $20 an hour. I'm on a stage. It's the same information, same offer, different audience, different income. I went on to launch a wellness company that went from $0 to $1 million in less than 20 months. A 7-figure wellness company when the average trainer makes $4 to $5K monthly where I live in Vegas. And so this is how the same offer with a different audience can create a different income. This is why your messaging and your marketing is so important. The right audience is a multi-million-dollar asset to be explained in depth throughout this presentation. And a lot of people are going to teach you, here's how to get one more deal. Here's how to make 6 figures or add 6 figures. I'm not hating on it. It's actually great. Because if you're not making 6 figures right now, you should work toward it. It's a great milestone. I'm going to teach you how we make multiple millions of dollars. Okay? This is high-level marketing I'm going to teach you today. The right audience matters because you want your avatar seeing your content, not your Uncle Tommy. You're on social media for a profit, not for death scrolling. And if you try to be everything for everyone, you'll be nothing for anyone. If you feed your audience, they'll feed you for life. Here's 3 ways to grow your audience. Number 1 is you could build it through manual effort. Number 2 is you can attract by getting free exposure to other people's audience. And number 3 is you can buy, meaning you get paid exposure to other people's audience. Let me ask you a question. Where can you source your lead list? So right now, you guys have, Scott, do you guys have a CRM with leads that people get access to?
Yes, yeah, we have huge leads coming in, plus we have a Shark Tank of 15,000 people.
Cool, love it. So how many leads total you got?
We got about 45,000 in our database.
Okay, I just want you guys to know the industry statistic is between 5 to 8% of your database will move over the next 12 months. And so if we do 45,000 times 45,000 times 0.05, that's on the low end. 5 to 8% of your CRM will move over the next 12 months. The low end, 5% of 45,000 is 2,250 of the leads in your CRM right now will transact over the next 12 months. And so you guys are sitting on a gold mine with this CRM. If I were you, I would get married to that lead list. That's what I would do. Now, where else could you find potentially listings if you were to go looking for them? Could you pull up homeowners? Could you pull up expireds? Could you pull up FSBOs if they were to look them up?
Yep.
Cool. So now you have these 45,000 leads that Scott invested money into. You can pull up FSBOs, you can pull up expireds, you can pull up homeowners, and you can start to source your lead list. This is your audience, okay? Now pull up two tabs. You pull up your CRM that you have access to those leads, or you pull up these lists I talked about, and you pull up Facebook. You're going to manually send 10 to 20 friend requests per day. There should not be a single lead that's in your CRM right now that you've worked, that you've sent email to, that you've sent text to, that you've called, who's not consuming your content on Facebook. There's no reason for them not to be getting multi-channel marketing across CRM, your cell phone, and your Facebook. Now, what's the fastest way to grow your perfect audience? I believe it's associating with people who already have your audience. Number one, if you're on a team, which is, I think, in 2026, the smartest thing you could possibly do, is you associate with Scott, make good friends with Scott. Scott has 45,000 leads for you. And this applies, though, just to your team, but also to other agents in your market who crush it, to other agents on your team who crush it. If you have a teammate in the room with you right now who has a strong sphere, you got to associate with these people and have their audience see you as an authority in this space. And here's how you can attract the right audience. You can do Facebook groups. You can speak on other people's podcasts, webinars, events, etc. You can tag other people in your posts. You can have other people tag you in their posts, create niche content that gets shared, and do reels, which are even better if you do them with other people. Now, if I were you, what I would do is I'd try to make friends with all of my clients' friends. So if I got a chance to tag a client in my post, I'd take a photo with my client and tag them. If I gave them something and said, hey, here's some content, they just sold their house, or you got a picture of them with the key, or you got whatever for them, you would send them the content and say, here's a message and here's a link in case you want to share it on social. And have your clients share the image, have your clients share a picture with you, have your clients tag you on their content. Now here's Facebook groups that make money. And so hot seat. Where are you guys at? What city are you guys in?
We're on the south coast of we're in Fairhaven. The office is Fairhaven, Massachusetts.
Okay, so Fairhaven, Massachusetts. You could do, buy and sell in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. That could be a title of it. And so it's who's it for and what's in it for them. And so it's for people in this location, and I'm going to help you buy and sell. Every single one of you should have your own Facebook group. And even you could do one collectively as the whole team, and people take turns, agents take turns on the team. You start inviting all the leads from the CRM into this Facebook group. It's non-branded, it's non-logoed, it's just buy and sell in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. And then you get all the agents on the team and they're inviting their leads from their CRM into this group, and you start dropping content in there. And you only talk about 3 to 5 things. Narrow down, what are the 3 to 5 things that would help people buy and sell in Fairhaven, Massachusetts? And if you just take turns, you just go through a rotation. If there's 30 agents on a team, each agent would post once per month. That's like the bare minimum. So now that CRM, that audience is getting hit every single day with value from a different agent on the team. Some people are gonna like Nick, some people are gonna like Dino, some people are gonna like a different agent, and they'll raise their hand and choose the agent they wanna work with. And every 6 to 10 posts, you can do a call to action. And that's where you're gonna offer a free home valuation. That's where you're gonna offer a free consultation. That's where you're gonna offer any of these things. And you can position other admin and moderators. You can put other agents on the team as admins and moderators in this group. And if the content is good, people will actually invite their friends as well. And this is an asset for later. You can see that we have a marketing and media company. We have a marketing playbook mastermind. We have a wellness company. We do events all over the country, large scale events, 300 people, 400 people, 500 people. Every single offer we do has its own Facebook group. Another one is if you guest speak on other people's podcasts, webinars, and events. And the big one, do you guys do open houses out there, Scott?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna just tell you guys straight up, there's an agent who I coach. Everyone write this name down, or if you want to put it in the chat, Scott, his name's Cody Weitzel.
What do you do, 300 units this year?
Yeah, Cody Weitzel's an agent on a team who nets after splits over $1 million. Again, I'm not teaching you the 6-figure marketing play. I'm teaching you the $1 million marketing play, okay? Cody Weitzel is an agent on a team in Lake Havasu, Arizona, a small town, a small market. 2 years in a row, back to back, netted over $1 million after splits. Okay? Cody Weitzel, Kody is his first name. Last name is Weitzel. I coach Cody in his marketing. I coach Cody in his wellness. I coach Cody's team leader, Dustin, in his marketing. I've gone out to Havasu. We've thrown events together. Cody is an example. If you guys want to see someone who's marketing at a high level as an agent on a team, follow Cody, copy Cody, model Cody. But I say all that to say this. They do these things called level 10 open houses. So when I'm talking about get on people's podcasts, webinars, events, it doesn't need to be a real estate conference to be an event. An open house is an event. One of the things Cody does is he does open houses every single week. Oh, that's too much, Alec. Oh, open houses don't work. Well, Cody's in a small market netting $1 million. So if I had any limiting beliefs around open houses, I would make friends with Cody and ask him how to do a level 10 open house if I were you. Okay? And so you get in these open houses, like me, if I was in the market, I'd run there. I'd make these open houses the best possible thing. Get every neighbor to show up. Get every past client to show up. Make it a production. Okay? What I would do is get your keynote clear. And when I say keynote, it's just your offer. It's just your presentation. It's your listing presentation. It's your buyer presentation. I would get super clear on what your keynote is, what your offer is, what your pitch is, so that you can go into it and promise a specific result to your clients. I'd make it publicly known you have the message to share. I'd ask publicly who has a platform you could speak on. I'd ask people directly if they know anyone you can speak for, and I'd ask the host directly. Here's how you can buy the right audience. Number one, Scott really did a lot of the heavy lifting here. Scott, how much money have you spent on that database over the years? 45,000.
Oh, geez, millions.
Okay, so Scott bought an audience. Scott spent millions of dollars on 45,000 leads, so you don't have to. And so my question, like it's the smartest thing ever to be on a team. First thing I would do if I was a solo agent is ask who already has my audience. What leader has some leads for me? Why would they give me their audience? I would pay my own money to get in their rooms out of pocket or just do a split. I'd give this split to Scott all day long to get access to those leads. What I would do is I would raise my hand, I would ask questions, I'd do everything possible, show up to every team meeting to get more access to this audience. And here's what I've done, and you guys are like, oh, whatever, Alec. No, look, pay to play at other people's events. The same thing I would tell an agent on a team to do. That event on the left is my dad's event. Oh, it's your dad, Alec. Well, me and my dad had a nice little interesting journey through our sobriety journeys. And I had to come full circle, get my shit together, establish a business, get on my feet, get married, be a good father, stay sober, for him to actually welcome me back into his life, rightfully so. Okay? And at the time, I had an established wellness business before we launched. Okay? And then what I did was I gave him a split of every dollar made. I paid money to sponsor my own dad's events. I bought my own flights. I bought my own hotels. I paid a speaker fee. I did everything I'm telling you to do. Same thing as an agent on a team. I'm a coach on a team. To get on my dad's stages. That's on the left. The one on the right is Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins Launch Lab. 45 entrepreneurs in that photo paid $7,000 each to hear me speak. And today I'm giving it to you for free. You get it for free. Scott paid your ticket. You guys got the discount. Okay. And so this is the power of proximity and paying to play. This is why I would get on a team for these opportunities. This room right here, these 45 people paid $7,000 each. That's over $300,000 that they paid to hear what I'm sharing with you right now. So here's what I did. I pay to get in the room at scale. And I'm just showing you how you can do this in your team you're in right now. So I paid 25 grand up front to Dean Graziosi to get in his room. That didn't promise me opportunity. Oh, you already paid to get here. You should have opportunity. Nope. You got to give more. While I was in that room, take this for your team meetings. What I'm telling you, do exactly what I did with Dean Graziosi, but do it in your team meetings. Okay? I paid to get in the room. You're paying with your split. I ask questions every chance I got. When there's a training, I ask questions every chance I got. I contributed every chance I got. When someone else had a question and needed support, another person who paid to be there, I helped every single chance I got. And then I took what I learned and I executed on every single thing they taught. Then what I did is got a super big result, went back to Dean, went back to the leader, and shared the result that I got with what they taught me. That's how I got the stage. Not everyone who pays to get in the room gets to speak on the stage. Not everyone who gets to ask questions gets to speak on the stage. Not everyone who helps each other gets to speak on stage. You get the opportunity and you get the audience when you actually do all the above. You pay, you ask questions, you help each other, you show up to every single team meeting, you get a big result, and then you share the result with them. They're more likely to give you more opportunity. This is just how it works. You can call it politicking, you can call it whatever you want. This is results-driven relationships that are much deeper than just the money. You can't buy respect, you can't buy these relationships. There has to be more depth to it, okay? And again, I'm not just being a hypocrite here and telling you this for Scott's benefit or anyone else. This is what I personally do. This is how I built my company. I understand the game. I understand how to play it. This is what I would suggest you do. Now, here's the big one too. If you build the room, they'll give you the leads. And so what I mean by that is I built my whole entire business model right now. I threw like 20 events in 2025 all over the country. And I did 5 webinars. But now my whole business plan going into 2026 is I'm doing a webinar per month. And so if you were to want to use this to get more listings, what I would suggest that you do is that you do a free home equity report. That would be your offer. And you can do a free home equity report once per month. But the way you could do it is how to get the most money for your most valuable investment. How to sell your home for the most money in today's market. That would be appealing. So you're taking all these leads from the CRM, you're putting them in your audience. You're taking all these leads from your Facebook group, putting them in your audience. You're finding all the homeowners, the FISBOs, the expireds, you're sending them friend requests, getting them in your audience. Now, when they're in your audience, then you're doing a webinar once per month, and your webinar topic every single month is to help them get the most amount of money for their home. And the way you can position the free home equity report, this is what Dustin Rendon and his team does, this is what Cody Weitzel does, is you can position it as there's a real story, and you could reference Dustin's story, but he owned a condo and he didn't even know how much it was worth. And he was sitting on like $1 million in equity or something crazy, right? I don't want to misquote the amount, but he was sitting on a ton of equity he didn't even know he had. And if he didn't get an equity report on what he had, he wouldn't have known that he even had the money available to do anything with it. And so that's how you position yourself as a listing authority, is to get people to look at the thing that they're oblivious to. They're just not paying attention to it. They bought at a certain price, but they haven't checked where it's at now. And a lot of this is going to be people who've owned for 5, 10, 15 years. They're going to be sitting in equity, and those are the lowest hanging fruit for you to get more listings. And then open houses too. So if I were you, I would crush the monthly webinar, and I would do open houses every single week. And if you need more in-depth explanation on the open houses, I would personally, Cody will help, say, hey, Cody, I was on a Zoom with Alec today. He knows me well. I've been coaching him for a long time. And I would say I was on a Zoom with Alec. He told me to ask you how to do a level 10 open house. And just get another perspective. Just get another perspective. So you host monthly webinars with people who got your avatar. I mostly coach team leaders on recruiting. So I host a webinar once per month, every month for the next year, called Be a Recruiting Magnet. And so what I do is I find the best recruiting team leaders from all over the country, and I co-host with them. So for you, if you find a listing agent in your area who crushes listings, I would host the webinar, build the landing page, invite them to speak on mine, and say, hey, this is how I would pitch it to them. I'm on a mission to help people get the most amount of money for their homes and understand how much equity they're sitting on in 2026. I'm going to do this every month either way, but I think I could do it better with you than I could do without you. And you invite your teammates, other agents on your team who crush listings. You invite solo agents who do listings in your market. You invite them to guest speak on your webinar. And every month for your consumer-facing audience, you host a webinar giving them all the tips and tricks to get the most amount of money for their home when they sell. I would also do in-person events with people who got your avatar. So right here, this is my examples. These are big. We did 3 events in 5 months, Elevate Your Life and Business. We sold out the Hometown Theater in Havasu. It was too big. We had to move to Scottsdale. So event number 2, we went to Scottsdale. Event number 3, we went to Scottsdale. We sold between 250 to 350 tickets at all 3 of these events back to back in a 5-month period. This stuff works at scale. It can for sure work for an open house. So you don't need to do these big crazy events with these big budgets. I would marry open houses in 2026. That's what I would personally do. Get people together in person. Now here's some targets for audience. 5K friends on Facebook, 1,000 plus members in your free groups. You have 45,000 leads. There's no reason you can't get 1,000 of those leads in a free Facebook group. I'd get 50 to 250 members in a paid group. So I would have a separate Facebook group that's private only for clients. So these are like forever clients. So you can get repeat business, referral business. So all the clients that you guys have done business with, I would put in their own separate private group, and you do things for them like client appreciation events, things like that. I'd make a list of associates. So right now you got some killer associates on your team who are like, there's some top dogs on your team right now, and maybe you're not looking at them, you're looking at them as a competition instead of a collaboration. And I would make a list of agents on your team. I would make a list of solo agents in your market, and I would start to build relationships coming from a place of abundance going into 2026. The right message in media matters because you want to repel the wrong people, you want to attract the right people, and you want to be the only logical choice. If you're posting once a week, you're emailing once a month, you're calling and texting your leads once a quarter, I got real bad news for you. They already forgot you exist. That's why I could say, oh, there's 45,000 leads, 2,000 of them will transact, but how's the math doing? How many transactions you guys do?
We did 304, 300.
Okay, which is really good. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you guys. Really good job. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But what happened to the other 1,900 leads that moved in the last 12 months? You guys weren't posting enough for them. You weren't emailing enough for them. You weren't calling and texting enough for them. And so that's just based off statistic. And so we want to get the activities up. I'm here to help you guys help your consumers. And so you got to post, email, call, text. Now, do you know what copywriting is? This is how we built all our companies. Copywriting is writing with intent to persuade a person or group of people to make a decision typically related to business. Every choice you made your whole life was based off words you read and heard. So you read something online, you heard something online, you saw a TV show, your parents told you something growing up, your coworker said something, your significant other said something. This is how you make decisions as a human. So you got to craft your message because you have the opportunity to help your consumers make a decision. So you want to know who, what's your big promise? And if we're going for listings, crafting our message means I'm going to help you get the most amount of money for your home in today's market. I'm going to help you understand the value and get your value out of your most important investment. This is one of the biggest financial commitments people will make in their whole life. And you need to be able to clearly articulate the risk and the reward. And so the risk is they might be sitting on money that they desperately need and they have no idea. So now they're suffering longer because of it. The risk is they might sell their home for less than it's worth. There's a lot of risk here, so you have to make it clear because people are only motivated to move away from pain or they're motivated to move toward pleasure. And so the reward is if they know how much their home is worth, maybe they can roll it over, pull out equity and get another home, whatever it may be. If they know how much their home is worth, maybe they can pull equity and upgrade their home because they have a bigger family. If they know how much their home is worth and they need to downsize, they can pull equity, they can downsize and have money for savings. And so you need to be able to clearly articulate in your message what is the risk of not knowing their home's value and what is the reward of knowing their home's value. Okay? And what I would do is I would narrow down 3 to 5 topics that guarantees they get the result. So what are the 3 to 5 mechanisms, the 3 to 5 steps that if they just took these 3 to 5 steps, they could get the most amount of money for their home? That is what I would get clear on for you. And then I'd go through the 4 steps explanation for each topic. And so topic 1 is if it's curbside appeal. If curbside appeal is very important, then what I would go through is the 4 steps explanation on curbside appeal. Step 1, what is curbside appeal? Step 2, why is it so important? What's the risk and reward of curbside appeal? Step 3, what's involved or who's involved? Maybe they need landscapers. Maybe they need a contractor. Maybe they need a painter, whatever it may be. Give them the list of all the services and all the people they would need in order to increase their curbside appeal. Step 4 of explanation is how to actually do it. So when you're talking about curbside appeal and you're trying to articulate that to your consumer so that they can understand it and take action on it, step 1, what is it? Step 2, why is it important? That's both risk and reward. Step 3, what's involved or who's involved? And step 4, how to actually do it. How do we increase curbside appeal? And then what I would do is, if you want this message to be real strong, I would make 30 strong hooks. So there's a quick story, but Dean Graziosi did a book launch. He hired Larry King. Larry King's a legend on commercials and sales videos. He paid him 250 grand. They did the book launch. The book launch failed. He wasted 250 grand. He went back home, beat his head against the wall for a month or two. What's wrong? Why did it fail? He said, I got it. He calls back Larry King. He says, let me give you another $250,000. We're going to do the book launch again. I'm not going to change anything. I'm only going to change the hook. And so they went back, they refilmed the first 30 seconds of this video, and they had record sales. You should be spending 10 times the amount of time on your hook that you spend on the rest of your video. You should spend 10 times the amount of time on your hook than you spend on the rest of your email, the rest of your text, the rest of your posts. Those first 2 lines are everything. So you want to craft strong hooks that keep them up at night, typically related to the risk of not knowing what their home is worth and the reward of knowing what their home is worth. Amateurs wait for objections to solve them, and professionals solve them before they come up. So what I mean by that is, you're cold calling a lead. They've never seen you, they've never read your post, never opened your emails, you're cold calling them. Now you're on a phone call trying to use your sales tactics to close someone who doesn't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, and in one phone call you're trying to get them to list their most valuable asset with you. Good luck. Versus a professional who's going to find the lead, they're going to email the lead, they're going to friend the lead on Facebook, they're going to put the lead in the Facebook group, they're going to have the lead consuming content, making you the authority, impacting, inspiring, and educating them on how they can get the most value for their home. So now they know you, they like you, they trust you. Then you call them, you say, hey, John, it's Alec Cheplack with ABC Realty. I see you've been opening my emails. You got a quick second to talk about your home's value. Do you know how much your most valuable asset is worth? Yes or no? That's your opening line. But now it goes from a cold call to a warm call. And that's the difference between an amateur and a professional. Great marketing solves all these objections before they come up. What I would do is I would take every objection I get on my calls, and then I would go in a post immediately after, and I would make a post that does problem solution based messaging. I would handle the objection that came up on the call publicly in a post. So now every single other lead who I'm about to call that week sees that post, and they can't hit me with that same objection because I already solved it. Dude, I read your post about this thing. That's wild. You read my mind. This is how you make cold calls warm calls. You get them to consume the content and you solve their problem before they ever get on the phone. So here's a strong message. Strong message speaks to one person, one to many. And Kanye West is a madman, regardless if you like him or not. He's one of the greatest marketers of our time. And in his song, Can't Tell Me Nothing, he says, I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me. The biggest mistake you could make is treating your one-on-one phone call with a client, your listing appointment with a client, your buyer presentation with a client, different than you treat your posts or emails. I just told you the objection that comes up on the call is your next post. The objection that comes up on the call is your next email. So stop treating one-to-one conversation different than you treat one-to-many. A lot of you will have a real conversation with a human and then go on to social and say, here's your 3 tips for this, that, and this. How about, here's the biggest fear that people have when selling their home, and here's how I would solve it. And then you just use a real conversation to share that message. It's going to trigger an emotion, you're going to solve a very specific problem, and you're going to put your avatar, your lead, in a story they can actually win. That's what you're doing with your messaging. And you want to suffocate every objection. Again, Jason Fladlien says, people always teach you and teach and practice and preach objection handlers. We don't want to handle objections. We want to suffocate them. We handle puppies and children and flowers. We don't handle objections. Objections are poison. Objections are the thing that stop people from making the most important financial decision in their entire life. It's our job to suffocate them. There's no room for them. And so we should get loud and proud in our email and our posting and our video, suffocating every single objection. So by the time we get on a phone call with the lead, the only thing they have to say is what's next. And it's going to be a weather forecast. And so if you have ever had a client, some of you probably had, You got excited. You got a new listing. Maybe it was your biggest listing ever. You oversold them in the meeting. You oversold them in the appointment. Something came up that was difficult. It was a problem. You had to price cut them. I mean, how many people are like really reluctant on lowering the price of their home right now? Listings are being pulled off the market. Listings are being canceled. Homes are sitting and not selling because everyone's trying to sell their home for more than it's worth right now. That's because we are not doing a good enough job as the leader and the professional of letting them know the weather forecast. So what's happening is these people selling their homes are putting their home on the market. They're wearing a tank top and sandals, and it's a blizzard. There's not an accurate weather forecast. They don't have accurate assumptions or expectations about what the market's actually doing. And so if you can pre-sell them and pre-suffocate these objections through your messaging, letting them know all the potential problems that could come up and how you can solve them accurately, then when those problems come up throughout the process of selling their home, they're not going to be surprised because they dressed accordingly. We're on Mount Everest and they wore a winter jacket instead of a tank top and some sandals. And so a lot of your one-to-one problems that are happening with you and the consumer can be solved one-to-many if you share that message publicly. Here's 3 strong hooks. Ask a question in the first sentence, answer the question in the second sentence. Make a bold statement in the first sentence and either double down with it or destroy it in the second sentence. And then your third strong hook example is incomplete sentence, ... And then in your second sentence, ... complete the sentence. Keeping it simple sells. 3rd to 4th grade reading level when you're writing a post or email. You can use HemingwayApp.com and you can paste your next script into that website and it will tell you what grade reading level you're at. And next time you want to know if it's too complicated, just explain it to your child. So you can see I said marketing so simple, my 9-year-old son can explain it. That's my 9-year-old son right there doing a marketing video for me. I wrote a post about how team leaders can recruit more agents, and then I had him go read the post publicly in a video, and it crushed. And during that video, I realized there were certain things he didn't understand. I had to keep simplifying it and simplifying it and simplifying it so that he could accurately say the message. Social media is reality TV with some commercials. Most famous celebrities that you don't even know what they've done for society. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Do you think that Kylie Jenner is a self-made billionaire because she shared the best makeup tips? She has a $1 billion makeup brand because she's a celebrity. And so you need to start showing reality TV. They did it with Keeping Up with the Kardashians. On the back end of their marketing, they can launch anything and it's going to be successful. So here's grade A media. Live long form video is what we're doing right now. Right now, this is live long form. This is, honestly, it's kind of like a webinar. Also, a Facebook Live is live long form. An open house is live long form, okay? Grade B media is long form video, and that's like YouTube's, that's a Facebook Live replay, that's a webinar replay. Like Scott asked for me to give him the replay of this. That's grade B media. So it's still long form, it's still live, and I don't know about you, but when I'm gonna make a big decision, I like nice cars, I buy expensive cars, and when I do that, the first place I go is YouTube. People who consume long form content are very close to the decision. So like my last ditch effort before I go purchase a new vehicle is I go on YouTube and I watch all the reviews. So if you're not on YouTube, I would start crushing it on YouTube. Grade C media is short form video content. It's a micro commitment, but it has massive impact. They get your body language, they get your tone of voice, they get these things still, but it's not live and it's not long form. I would get a bunch of clients saying this stuff works. When your clients are most excited, they just bought, they just sold, that's your time to get a quick clip of them and ask permission to post it. Grade D media is casual photos that feel human. This is like photos of you and your teammates together, photos of you and other agents, photos of you with your clients, even with your family or your friends. People are addicted to people. And grade E media, there's a time and place for it, but it's like branded images. It has your number on it, it has your brand on it, it has your company on it, these Canva images. All these grades of media are used, but they should be used strategically. So there's a time and place for this type of media, but the highest grade media is the biggest commitment. So getting someone to show up live is a big ask, but it's also the biggest reward. And as you go down this scale, it gets easier for your client to consume, but it's also lower impact. So if I were you, I would alternate between live long form, pre-recorded long form, photos with short form video, photos with people, and branded images. I would alternate between all of them. Here's a really good Facebook Live format. The first two sentences that come out of your mouth are not, hey, Facebook Live, happy Monday. Everyone knows they're on Facebook. They know it's Monday. You get straight to the point. Go for the hook. Go for the jugular. Then you do a short summary paragraph. In this live, here's what you're going to learn. Then you do 3 to 5 topics. Go through 4 steps of explanation for each topic. 10 minutes into your 30-minute live, you're going to say, drop home equity below if you want a free home equity report. Then 20 minutes into your live, you're going to pause while you're educating, drop home equity report, and I'll give you a free home equity report. Then 30 minutes at the very end, again, comment, home equity report, I'll give you a free home equity report. Acknowledgement posts are killer. What I would do if I were you after this is I'd go audit your social media the past 30 days and see how many posts you've made of you and your clients together. All the transactions you did this year, go through the list of people you did business with and scan your social media and see if you posted a selfie with your happy clients. What I would do is I would use a hook and acknowledge the result. So this person listed their home with me and they sold it in this timeline and they got this much over market value or whatever result they got that your other leads would want to get. Then what I would do is I'd say something nice about them as a human being. So that's the art of their behavior. You know, they're family oriented. These are their hobbies, what they like to do for fun. This is why they moved it to this location. And then I would talk about the science of their behavior. I'd give some tips on what actually got them that result. Here's a few things that came up through the home buying or home selling process, and here's how we solved them. All in one post. Photo of you and a client, strong hook. Here's the result they got. Here's who they are as a human. Here's how we got them the result. This stuff crushes. I do welcome posts. Every time you have a new client, you welcome them. You see Scott doing it with agents on the team. I have a script. I straight up text my clients when I get them. Hey, I'd love to warm welcome you to our community on Facebook. What you can tell your clients is that it's going to get you more eyeballs and potentially sell your house faster. And that could be actually true, honestly. And you say, I'd love to warm welcome you to our community on Facebook. Please shoot me over 2 bullet points about you personally, 2 bullet points about you professionally. And here's a couple photos I took from your Facebook. Which one do you like the most? So I'm getting permission to post right when I start working with someone. This is me taking initiative to market your home. You want me to sell your home, right? Here's one way we can do this. Associations are king. I always say, how can a somebody become a nobody? I came in this industry now coaching top teams all over North America, never sold a house in my life, never recruited an agent in my life. Now my clients are recruiting hundreds of agents and selling thousands of homes, and I've done it through associations. So I've associated up with other authorities in this space. I've associated sideways with my peers and other coaches, and I've associated down, not inferior, but just with the people I serve. So it's my coaches, mentors, and leaders I associate up. My peers are other coaches who I work with, associate with them. Associating down is posting the clients who I'm helping and showing their wins. This is how you can build authority in your space. A good Instagram story commercial would be a proof of result slide. Client got their result. Next slide, you talk about how awesome they are as a human. Next slide, you talk about what they did to get that result. And then the next slide, you ask for an opt-in. Hey, if you need help selling your home in this market, message me, free home equity report. And then the next slide, do a little video, say, hey, dude, I see you viewed that story and you skipped it. What are you doing? Do you even know how much your home is worth? Go back to that last story, opt in, let's have a conversation. Let's see how much your home is worth. Call them out. Here's a content day. What I would do is I'd make friends with other agents in your office, plan who you're going to film with. What's the result we want to get from the content? What's the 3 to 5 topics we're going to cover? I'd make a short list of what video topics you're going to do. I'd have a couple different outfits, a couple different props, and a couple different locations ready, and go film a content day. Even if it's once a month or once every 2 weeks, start filming content with your teammates. Now, why is the ideal customer journey important? The ideal customer journey matters because you want to show the A to Z path to success. And so what I mean by that is you want to show someone who is in a tough spot and what process you had to go through and what problems you had to solve. And you can even keep it anonymous. You don't need to name drop their stuff or get too personal, but you can make milestones through the process and you can share this process publicly. This is your ideal customer journey. So from point A where you are now in a struggling spot, you got to get rid of this house, to point Z, getting rid of the house and moving into your new place. What is the actual journey to get there? I would share this clearly in your posts, in your emails, in your videos, in your calls, at your open houses, on your webinars. Have a very clear milestone journey that you can share with your audience. Now, when you do this, you can do CTAs throughout the journey to collect data. So Scott spent millions of dollars on 45,000 leads. You can walk those current leads you have access to through this journey, but you can also snag up new leads as well. This is when you find the homeowners, you find the expired listings, you find the FSBOs, and you can walk them through this journey as well. And you want to nurture the leads. And so throughout each step of this journey, you want to nurture them with solutions to problems that show up during that step. And here's the deal. If you're not excited about your offer, nobody else is either. You guys should all go friend me on Facebook. It's Alec Cheplak, A-L-E-C, and my last name is C-H-E-P-L-A-K. A-L-E-C, C-H-E-P-L-A-K. And what you'll see there is you'll see me shouting from the mountaintops about a few things. We just launched our fitness challenge today. You can see I don't shut up about it. I'm genuinely excited about it. We got the most signups ever, okay? I'm hosting the Marketing Playbook Mastermind at my house in 11 days from now. I don't shut up about it. I talk about who's coming. I talk about the content that's going to show up. I talk about what it's done for my family and my life. If you're not excited about your offer, nobody else is either. So you got to be the front runner of energy, okay? And here's how you create an irresistible offer. Who's your target? What's your big promise? What 3 to 5 things would guarantee the result that they want? And what are the 4 steps of explanation for each topic? This is how you create an irresistible offer. So if I were you, I would say get the most amount of money for your home. Get the most amount of money for your most valuable asset, right? That would be an offer. That's the big promise. Now what I would do is what are the 3 to 5 things that would guarantee they get that result? And then I would create a document that actually lists out what are these 3 to 5 things, and I'd go through the explanation for each. You can turn this into a document and you can turn it into a lead magnet. So this is a summarized PDF document that you can use as an asset, you can use for information, you can use as basically law of fair exchange, law of reciprocity. And so what I do is I create these little documents, they're called lead magnet free downloads. I put them behind single option landing pages, and then every 6th to 10th post, you can do a post telling them to click the link to get access to this document. And so what they'll do is they'll opt in, they'll give you name, number, email, permission to contact, and then you start emailing them information about the same topic because they already asked for it. You can call them immediately. Hey, John, it's Alec. I saw you grabbed my offer. And you would say what the name of it is. You know, what's a good time or day for me to come through and give you a free home equity report? And now you're using this lead magnet irresistible offer to get the appointment, to get in their home, to find what it's worth, and to sign a new listing. And you could do the same thing, take this little document that takes 5 to 10 minutes to read, turn it into a 45 to 60 minute presentation. That presentation is your monthly webinar, okay? And you can host that with your teammates, other agents on the team. So you have a free download, you have this monthly webinar, and then you can even use this same conversation when you're in open houses and walk people through this process. So here's a 4-step funnel. This is what happens. A lot of people miss the mark. 95% of your leads are only in curiosity. If you're lucky, 5%, again, 5 to 8% of your audience is in serious consideration. So if there's 45,000 leads and 5 to 8% are going to transact over the next 12 months, that proves my point. But where we're missing the mark is we're trying to only hit that 5% who are going to move right now. And we're missing the other 95% of our leads. And so a 4-step funnel is a really good tool you can use because step 1 is a free download. This is just for people to find out how much their home is worth. It's very low-hanging fruit. They can grab this document. When they grab the document, you can find out what their home is worth for them. So they either know the process to do it themselves, or now that they know the process, they can have you come in and do it for them because they're not going to be able to do it themselves. So it's just a Band-Aid. It shows them the path. Very low barrier of entry. They download it. It goes to their email. They can read it in the comfort of their own bed whenever. Now, step 2 from that is a little bit of a bigger ask. It's a little bit higher barrier of entry. This is where they have to actually show up on a webinar live. It's So they have to schedule an hour out of their day. They got to do their hair, do their makeup, maybe, if their camera's going to show. Because right now, your guys' cameras are showing. But you could also do a webinar where their camera doesn't show. So it's a little bigger ask than just reading a document, but it's still a pretty low barrier of entry. There's no obligation, no pressure. Step 3 of your funnel would be an open house. That's what I would suggest. I would just marry open houses. Now they have to drive. They have to schedule out of their day. They have to put a nice outfit on. They have to do their hair and makeup. They have to actually travel and spend their day with you in person. That's a bigger ask. But open house is the closest thing to conversion possible out of this funnel, is you're getting with people together in person. Okay? Then step 4 is the conversion conversation. This is when you're actually one-on-one trying to get the listing. Excuse me. Where you're missing a lot of your leads is that you're conversion dumping on people who are only curious. If you conversion dump on people who are only curious, you're going to move them from curious to straight up annoyed. And so what we want to do is we want to have these different steps in our funnel where if I'm pushing for the appointment, pushing for the listing, and they're not ready, am I just going to wipe my hands and let them go? And then later, you know, they haven't heard from me, they haven't seen me, they haven't consumed my content, I stop following up, they stumble across a different agent, they go list their home with someone else. Or, hey, maybe they're not ready to convert, but I'll invite them to my next open house. Hey, maybe they're not willing to come to the open house, but I'll invite them to my next free webinar. And maybe they couldn't make it to the webinar, but I'll give them this free resource, free document I made. And so this value ladder is an opportunity for you to find the people where no matter how hard you work, they aren't ready to list right now. You can back off and invite them to other steps in the funnel. And you can hold their hand and have an excuse to reach out to them. And so I would just keep inviting. I'm the bearer of good news, I'm the inviter. So you want to keep inviting them to these things that are a lower barrier of entry than listing their home with you. Okay, so I did my best to put 13 years of information in an hour. Did you guys get some value from that?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So here's the takeaway for you. I want you to go be a marketer. I want this to benefit you. I want you to take at least one thing. I mean, just take at least one thing I shared with you and go execute. Even if the one thing is friending Cody Weitzel, and just follow his content and just copy and steal. He's in Arizona. You guys are on the East Coast. Like, no one will know. He's cool. He knows how it gets down. He'll love it. He'll respect it. He'll probably like your stuff, comment on it, and support. If you do nothing else, just model people who are doing more than you. If you do nothing else, just go be a marketer. And then the second side to this, because again, remember, we're in abundance. We're about collaboration. We're about working with our team members. We're about getting more eyeballs on our brand. We're about generating more leads. We're about community. I want you to go be a marketer for yourself, but I also want you to keep fucking recruiting. That's what KFR means. And so as much as you guys want to make money, right?
No?
Yep.
You guys want to make some money or not?
I want to make some money over here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it fair that I want to make some money too? You guys want to make some money? Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Scott wants to make some money too, right? Is that fair that if Scott's helping you to make some money, that it's okay for you to see Scott make some money too?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think if we're all making some money together, we might be more motivated to go make some more money?
Yep.
Okay. And so what I want to see is I want to see you guys go market so you can make more money, but I also want you to keep fucking recruiting, invite all your friends, bring on new agents, bring on experienced agents. I want to see this whole company grow and I want to see everyone go make some money. And so the more that each of you market individually, the more money you're going to make in your business. And then the more that agents are on the team and we get the whole team marketing, even the new agents, the business grows. And so here's the deal. As an agent, you can only grow in your business as big as the vehicle, world, and company that you're inside of. So the bigger that Scott grows, the bigger the Home and Key Group grows, you can fit inside that world and you can still grow too. And so this is why we need to go be a marketer and we need to keep fucking recruiting.
give it a couple of weeks out there so we can be like. "Oh,
So you guys probably see what Scott's been doing. He's doing a lot of what I shared and taught with you today. You're seeing me doing these monthly webinars. If I were you, I'd raise your hand. Be a contributor. Help the other agents on your team. Collab with other agents on your team. Invite other agents to these webinars. Post the links to the webinars. Get people on them. Let's go in 2026. We're going to market, we're going to recruit, we're going to collaborate with our peers. If you genuinely believe, like Dino said, that your service is going to help your client, it's bigger than you. If you get another agent on your team and that agent gets another one who had a death in the family, that agent gets a client who had a divorce. We're moving the mission forward. So the more that you share your message, the more you can help your consumers get out of suffering. The more you recruit more agents to the team, they can help more people get out of suffering too. So let's all move the mission in the same direction. So that's all my time for today. I hope you guys got some value from that. If anything, just go be a marketer and keep fucking recruiting.
Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are-
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, y'all.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thanks, Scott.
Picture of the photo.
Take this.
You snapping a photo?
I don't mind it. I'm gonna make it. The whole thing, it doesn't.